Muizenberg holds a special place in my heart. On a perfect Cape Town day when the southeast wind is not pumping, Muizenberg comes alive as Cape Townians flock to the beach to enjoy the extensive beach, warm waters and rolling waves. Hundreds of surfers from beginners to seasoned veterans take advantage of the favourable waves. The sounds of laughter, the taste of ice cream and the sheer beauty provides an environment that encapsulates joy. It was at Muizenberg that I found solace in the months after Laura's death. Initially, I would take the kids and spend time with them in the water. I've written in Grief and Grace how at Muizenberg I learned that joy and pain are two sides of the same coin. My emotions would oscillate between enjoying the children one moment while having pangs of sorrow the next, as I experienced the void in our lives with Laura not being with us. The reality of being a single dad was at times overwhelming. However, Muizenberg was a place where we all began to find a measure of healing. On occasion, I began to go to Muizenberg on my own. I decided, rather than just helping the children with their surfing, that I would also learn to surf. It was a healthy distraction and something that I thought would have made Laura proud of me. On windy days when the waves were not conducive to surfing, I would go for long walks along the beach. It was on one such walk that I had a conversation with God that turned out to be a life-changing moment. This was about 6 months after Laura had died. Every journey through grief is unique. Mine had been intensely deep. The 6 months had felt like 6 years. Quite surprisingly, even soon after Laura had died, some friends asked me if I would consider remarriage. My standard response was that my marriage with Laura had been so rich that I couldn't contemplate finding that level of fulfillment again. I knew that I wasn't ready to even think about it, so this straight-bat answer helped me to get off the hook before I would change the topic. As I was walking along Muizenberg that morning, I felt God affirm me deep in my spirit. I was reflecting on my grief and sensing that I was moving into a different season. I had returned to work. The children were all in their new schools. They had previously been homeschooled. The tears weren't as frequent. I generally didn't feel as sad. I miss Laura deeply, but perhaps I could find a way to face this future that I hadn't chosen. It was in that moment that I felt God say to me, "Tim, my son, you have grieved well." Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I felt God was saying I'd passed some kind of test. Rather, it was a gracious affirmation that he was there with me in my grief. From the day Laura died, I had told God that there was no way I could get through this grief on my own. God was reminding me that he'd been an ally every step of the way. Then, I felt him ask me a question. "What do you want me to do for you, Tim?" As much as the question was surprising, my response astonished me. From somewhere deep within me, I simply said, "I don't want to be alone."